Hey, what's up, people? Today, real quick, we're gonna make something, and I'm going to make some kind of paneer curry. Paneer is like paneer, like grilling cheese, non-melting cheese, and we're gonna throw in a bunch of stuff with it. It's gonna be whatever you got in the fridge. We don't have to really be particular about it. The reason we're gonna take on to our task like that is sometimes people get hung up on, oh, I don't have this ingredient, I don't have this and that, so I can't make this. But honestly, if you got to make something, you're hungry, you got to make it. You don't want to be hung up and stuck up with the ingredients, right? So yeah, don't want to stretch it too far. Let's go. Also, whenever you're making a Punjabi style curry, the most basic ingredient is going to be onion. This is a white onion, doesn't matter white, red, yellow, whatever you got. So you need an onion to make the gravy. Talking about proportions, every time you have one onion, you better have two tomatoes. And the basic ingredients for most of the kinds of gravy is onion, tomatoes, ginger, garlic, chili. Yep, that's about it. We're gonna talk a little bit about what we got in the fridge a couple minutes later. So anytime we have paneer is always like stored in the refrigerator. It's kind of hard, and so what we'll do is cut it open, cut it into pieces, take what we need, put it down for a little boil in warm water, lukewarm water, super hot water, I don't care. But it's got to be boiled. And then we're gonna sort of fry it, shallow fry in oil. So paneer's on the boil right now, and well, yeah, we'll let it boil for a while. So we already got our onions cut, put them in a separate bowl. So we got our onions over here, we got our tomatoes over here, we got the ginger, garlic, and the green chili over here. Onions, ginger, chili, garlic is the main source of the spice that comes in most of the curries, I think. Yeah. So our paneer is boiled. We can see it's oh, I don't know. Yeah. We can see it's kind of super soft, super spongy now. I'm just going to cut it into little pieces, and then we're going to shallow fry it. I have the oil going on over here. Turn the heat up a little bit more. Give it a minute. Then I'll put the slices of paneer in it. Yeah, give it some time. Now I did open up my fridge. I found mushrooms and different types of peppers, different colored peppers. So we're going to use those as other vegetables that we can use in our curry. Here we got a green onion. I'm going to cut maybe half or a quarter piece of it. Like I don't need a lot. It's going to be basically like a vegetable medley because we got a bunch of stuff and we'll put it up. Then I have these kind of peppers. I'll take a little piece out of both of them. Then I got some mushrooms from Walmart. I'll take maybe like 1 or 2 or 3. Now, remember guys how I said the onions, tomatoes, garlic, ginger, chili is going to be the base of our gravy, base for our gravy. But the mushrooms, the different kind of green peppers are going to be not a base of the gravy, but they are going to be the almost like a topping on the gravy. Do you know what I mean? Like they are going to be a part where you eat the actual stuff rather than you eat the gravy from this. You know what I mean? It'll make sense in a while. But yeah, we gotta cut these. Not super fancy. Try to be as fancy as you can, but you don't have to be super particular about it. But if you want to, yeah, sure, go ahead. So there we got our mushrooms and different types of peppers cut. Over on this side we have our paneer being crispy and cooked. I almost forgot about it. I'm thankful to my wife because she kind of flipped them over, otherwise they would have got burned. Just to show it to you guys, like you want that to be like golden brownish. First we boiled it, which kind of gave it a super soft texture. It mellowed it down, and now we're trying to make it crispy on the outside but still retain the softness on the inside. Yeah, I believe this is like almost done. As soon as the other side becomes a little bit charred, gets the little bit of crispiness, you know, we'll take these out and we can use this oil again while we're making the gravy. She's already making the bread that is going to go with it. So yes, I think the pieces of paneer are almost how we want them. Like I said, you don't want to be hung up on perfecting them because it takes a while to get it perfect, and I myself don't know how to make it perfect, but here we go. We'll yeah, they kind of look good. So yeah, we'll take them apart, put them in a separate bowl, Now we'll use the same pan to make our gravy. So yeah, let's go. Now, when it comes down to making the gravy, everybody kind of have their own influence, their own style. Somebody knows what their family cooks, how they cook. Somebody learned it at a restaurant, somebody learned it somewhere else. So everybody does it their own way. I just do what I find easy. So yeah, I got some oil over here. It's waiting for it to heat up. The first thing that are going to go in there is the onions, and then garlic, ginger, chili, and then tomatoes. And every time you do this, you do a bit of tempering. Tempering is like you add dry spices onto the gravy before you start making the gravy. So I'm just waiting on the oil to heat up, and I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, I think the oil's pretty hot. A little bit of fumes coming out. This is what I mean. The first time you do the tempering, you want the cumin seeds and the asafoetida. You call it the hing to go in there. You can make it before the onion or after the onion, but I prefer it before the onion just because it'll get the most exposure to the heat from the oil. Yep. So there we go. We'll take a spoonful of cumin, let it go in there. You can see the simmering, and asafoetida, the hing, is like another basic ingredient. Now before the onions before that starts burning, we'll put the onions in there. Yeah, I'm always scared about onions and tempering because always kind of, yeah, you can see the oil splattering around. I hate it. My wife's hate it. I'm always scared for it. What if my hands burn or whatever? But yeah, we'll let it go for a while. We'll let it simmer for a while. I'll grab one of these things. Nope, not this. Maybe this. And then kind of break the onions apart. It looks like I didn't break this guy. It's okay. Like I said, we're not aiming for perfection. We're just aiming for practice. Yeah. And then, once the onions, you can see they are starting to brown up, you should add a little bit of salt to it because the salt will stick to the onion and it'll make it cook even faster. Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, having a wife helps. Actually, it helps out a lot because I never knew how to do this all on my own. Kind of learned a little bit from my wife and my friends. And I worked in a restaurant for like 2 days along the way. I learned a little bit from there as well. It's a very intriguing process, I agree. So the first time we're doing this, like you got to do tempering twice. The first time is the whole spices. The second time would be the dry powdered spices. I did put the asafoetida in there, but asafoetida is the most basic ingredient, which is why I wanted to go first time with the onions. But every other powder in there will go the second time we do the tempering. You'll know what I mean in a minute. Yeah, the onions are turning golden brown, so now it's a good time to add chili, ginger, garlic pieces to it. I can see the onions softening up. I can even smell them. Like If your nose is good, if you're used to picking up the scents, you will know what's going on. I'll give it a minute until the chili, ginger and the garlic has been cooked, and then we're going to take all of that out from this pan. We're going to wait a bit for it to cool down, and once it cools down, we're going to put it into a blender or a mixer, whatever you want to call it, and then we're going to crush it down. We're going to make gravy paste out of it. Now, I'm just waiting for these things to be cooked. You don't want to put tomatoes in right away until everything is not cooked, because once the tomatoes will go in, it will stop cooking. Like, the onions are the hardest, and ginger, garlic, everything is like super hard for like to be cooked, like hard in texture. So you want all the heat to be going first to all the stuff that is hard in texture. Once it softens down and once it's all golden brown, then you can add in the tomatoes. And always remember, if you're using one onion, you need 2 tomatoes. If you're using 2 onions, you need 3 tomatoes. What I mean is, you need double the amount of tomatoes compared to the onion for most of the types of gravy. Like I said, again, we don't want to be super specific. We don't want to get hung up on perfection or ingredients. So I'm just giving you the basic tip out there. You can hear the tempering. You can also see the golden brown color in the onions that's coming up. Give it a minute. Turn it on high heat for a minute. Let it cook. Yes, this thing is totally cooked. Let's add tomatoes to it. Yeah, I like to hear the simmering sound. But you can see what chemistry is going on in there. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time for it to slow down and let somebody would be thinking, why are the tomatoes so huge? Nobody cares, because we're going to crush them. They're going to be a part of the gravy, right? So I forgot to mention something. If you want to cook gravy, to make the gravy more richer, people add cashews to it. It's a very standard practice. I sometimes even add almonds. Nobody cares. Nobody will know about it. If you didn't have cashew, you can use almonds. Sometimes I use both. But I just love the taste of cashews more. So yeah, I'm going to chop it up. I'm going to throw it in with the tomatoes, onions and everything. So anyways guys, I chopped up the cashews. If you didn't chop it, it's fine as well. I put it into the tomatoes. I added like 6 or 7 cashews and I ate like 15 of them. 17 now. I don't know. I just love the cashews. I'll show you what's going on now. It's boiling hot. You can see it in there. There's a bunch of things going on in there. Yeah. You see how the tomatoes are becoming all mushy and soft? We want that. We want all these juices to kind of combine and intertwine into each other. Yeah, I think we need to give it some more time until they become more mushy and more soft. Just gonna taste a little bit. I think you can use some salt because we added a bunch of stuff after the onions, right? And every time you add something, you need to make sure you're considering if the salt level is going to change with it, if it's going to make it worse, if it's going to make it better. So yeah, make sure anytime you add stuff, you should taste it. Once you taste it, you will get better idea, right? Because if you don't taste it, everything is cooked, ready, looks good, great. But if it don't taste good, yeah, man, you're getting booed from your wife, from your girlfriend, or whoever it is. Your friend, you found a potential girlfriend, you called her around, try to impress her with the Indian curry, and shit can go wrong. Yeah, it has gone wrong for me 5 times out of 10. So yeah, but eventually you will get the hang of it. It's all in life. A lot is about the practice, right? So yeah, keep practicing. Yeah, I can see how all the tomato juices are kind of, yeah. Slowly the secrets of the curry are coming to life, coming to light. Sorry. Anyways, while this is happening, I'll tell you what we're gonna do next. So while this is being cooked, I'll turn on the heat onto a little bit higher. While this is being cooked, once it's cooked, we'll try to cool it off. We'll cool it off with the help of a little bit of ice. We'll take some ice. First of all, we'll pull everything out from there, put it in a little bowl, dip the bowl into ice or water for it to cool down as quick as possible. Once it's cooled down, we'll put it into the blender, we'll blend it, and we'll then we'll do the second phase of the tempering, or the tadka as they call it in the real Punjabi jargon. You can see the smoke coming off. I really like how it smells. These things must be cooked right now by a certain degree. Yeah, you see how it's all looks all super soft and mushy. Yeah, let's check it out. Yeah, see, it's getting all soft and mushy. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is, shut off the gas. I mean the stove, and we're going to fill it up in a bowl. It might not look real sober when I'm doing this. That's because I'm a guy. Ladies, because they always cook, or at least mostly when they cook, they developed a very nice way of doing things, nicer way of doing things. But because we don't do it all the time, we care way lesser about how it's going to look. So yeah, pardon me if you think I'm not doing the right job or not doing things the right way. Remember, we're going to use the same pan again to give it the second tempering and cook the final curry. So we'll put it aside for now. And this guy over here, I'll take a little bit of ice, crushed ice. And let the tomatoes, onions, and everything kind of cool down. Because what happens is, if it's too hot, you put it in there, you put it into the blender, the blades of the blender are super hot, everything has a friction, and because of the friction and because of this temperature, there's going to be a lot of smoke build up. And when the smoke builds up, juices will start coming out when it's like that, and then things are going to be super messy, and we don't want that, which is why I'm giving you a super prompt instruction about why the base needs to be cooled down up to at least like 50%, right? Let it cool down. We'll give it like 2, 3, 5 minutes. So another important element I think I kind of skipped out on it. So you need a bit more dry spices. You need the bay leaf, the coriander seeds, the elaichi, and the cinnamon bark. It's like the most basic 5 ingredients in most of the Punjabi delicacies. Okay, so we're gonna heat that up in the oil. So you can also just put this into the blender with everything else without heating or cooking it. It's okay, but we have some time, and we're waiting for the other thing to chill down, so we will use that time and let the dry spices be kind of roasted, a little light roast in the same pan. You don't have to have like multiple pans and everything. You don't want to be spoiling too many dishes and everything. Know what I mean? Once it kind of heats up, we will add it in here, put all of that in there. Just waiting for the right smell, because that's when I know it is kind of cooked. Okay, enough of it. Remember, if you're allergic to dairy, what you can do is add way more cashews in the base rather than in here, because hey, if you can't digest milk, you can't digest milk. If you're lactose intolerant, you're lactose intolerant. You can't really fight the nature of your system, right? So you gotta find ways around it. Yeah, the dairy kind of softens out the chili and everything, kind of gives it a really good texture as well. Yes, which is why we added in there. Let's say you didn't have cream, what were you gonna do? Well, you could use some yogurt. It wouldn't give out the same taste, but it'll give out a great thick texture, and the taste would become a little acidic. To counter the acidity, what you can do is add a little bit of sugar in there. Like I said, you don't want to be stuck up on ingredients. So if you didn't have milk, you could use cashews. If you didn't have cashews or milk, you could add yogurt. If you have none of that, and let's say you had some sour cream, you can add the sour cream, no problem. Remember, the taste will differ a little bit, but it'll still be the same old curry, right? Let's do it. I'll also add some cilantro in this. That way it kind of gets crushed and the taste will come in the curry. Okay, I'll add a half a spoon or 1 spoon of sugar in there. It will kind of give a better depth to the taste. I'm adding 2 curry leaves or the curry patta in there. I'll add some cilantro to the mix. Some people can be like, why not cook it in with the gravy? Yes, we could have cooked it in, but remember, we're going to do a tempering session once more with powdered spices, and that's when everything will be cooked again, so we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, it's looking real smooth now. Yes, I think it looks great. That's that's uh, that's as far as we want to go. We don't want it to be like as thin or as thin as some kind of juice, right? We want it to be like gravy. So yeah, let's open it up and see how it looks. Yes, it looks good. I believe this is sufficient for me, my wife, and my daughter. My son will taste it a little bit. Oh man, the taste is really lip smacking. Yep, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Anyways, I'm heating up the pan again. I'm gonna add some butter, some oil to it. You can add butter, oil, ghee if you're somebody who wants ghee. You can add ghee to it. A lot of people would do second tempering with the ghee. The taste becomes, I don't know, very good. But I'm just gonna use oil. So now it's time to do the second tempering. The oil is being heated up. The main ingredients are again, turmeric powder. So yes, so yeah, like I was saying, the main ingredients are turmeric powder, chili powder, coriander powder. And if you're talking about, you need 2 spoons of coriander powder. Let's say, for example, if you're using 2 spoons of coriander powder, you would need only 1 spoon of red chili powder and then half a spoon of turmeric. Like you don't have to be super precise and exact about it, but that's how proportions would work for most of the curries. Highest amount of coriander, cilantro coriander powder, then a little less of the red chili powder. It also depends what kind of red chili powder it is. If it is the Kashmiri chili, it means it's meant more for giving the red color rather than a a spicy taste. But yeah, I've added the 3 main, and then I let it simmer for just a little bit, and then I'm going to add our curry base to it. Oh geez. You can see how it's bubbling away. Gonna add some water to this. That way we are using all of it. I'm just trying to find an angle that I can yeah, maybe this will work. Yeah, everything's in there. Now we're going to add a little bit more zest to our flavor. So what we are going to do is we'll add a little bit of salt. Okay, going to add kasuri methi. Kasuri methi is just thinking the right word. Goral, what's kasuri methi?
Dried fenugreek.
Yes, dried fenugreek leaves. You wanna kind of give them a partial crush and put it in there. Kind of adds a little bit of bitter taste to it and gives it a little bit of texture. Even if I say bitter, it doesn't mean the curry is going to be bitter. It just adds to the depth of the flavor. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see. You can see how it looks, right? And now that we added that, we're going to add some garam masala. This is like a one-stop solution to all your problems. If you don't know how the mix tastes like, you can add garam masala to it, like 1 spoon, and it will take care of everything. Or you can also add kitchen king masala. I have both of them. I don't mind using both of them, but I think the way it tastes pretty good. So I only need like a half a spoon of garam masala in there, right? And then we are going to add all the veggies that we cut earlier that are going to be part of our curry, right? And we will add the paneer to our gravy. I'll turn on the heat a little bit higher and let this cook for a minute. Give it a minute. When you go to the restaurants, the curry looks super red, and you might not get that exact color. The reason for that is they use edible colors, and it's supposed to look nice because it's a restaurant, but we're cooking it at home, and if it doesn't look nice the first time, or it looks a little bit orangish instead of red like mine is looking, it's all right. You do not have to worry about it. The taste is still going to be up there. Okay, give me a minute. So here we have the paneer pieces and the veggies. We'll put both of these in there. let it cook and simmer for a while. I would say this final part is important. Don't not heat your stuff. Let this simmer in for a bit. You want to close the lid off, that way everything gets heated up real good. Meanwhile that happens, we'll cut up some cilantro, and that will help us in our garnishing. We'll let this cook for a little bit, at least for like 2-3 minutes on medium heat. Yeah, give it some time. You don't want the new veggies that we put it in there, you don't want them to be mushy. You want them to maintain some kind of crisp, because when you will eat it with the bread, you want that crisp, because you're already getting the taste from the gravy prepared, right? Alrighty guys, now it's time to cut the cilantro. Our curry is in its final stages. I tasted it. I let my daughter taste it. She said it's good. I think it's good. My wife kind of tasted it. She said it's okay, but there's some kind of taste that it's not in acceptance with her, but she doesn't care. At this point, she might as well just eat it. And that's the way it is, guys. When you make people wait for the food, they'll eat whatever you bring to them. That's how it works at the big restaurants as well, I think. You make them wait, they'll be like, okay, just give me the food. And you just bring them any kind of food and they'll be like, okay, perfect, thank you. Maybe give a $5 tip to the waitress as well, if she's hot. You know what I mean? Yeah. We got our cilantro cut. I just want to make it more minute. I'm not great with it, but I try my best. Yeah, that looks alright to me. I'll show you guys the thing over here. Whew. Yeah, let's go in. I haven't thought of a name of this recipe yet, because like I said, we don't want to get stuck on ingredients or nothing. We just want something to eat right away, and this is it, man. But if you're gonna force me to give a name, I'm gonna call it paneer veggie or mushroom pepper paneer curry. Yeah, that sounds a little more like it. Mushroom pepper paneer curry. And yeah, we're almost ready, man. We're almost there. Now, don't tell me why does it not look too good, or it looks different from what your wife will cook. Of course, because she's a veteran. She has done this all of her life, and I only do it sometimes. But I definitely think cooking food is one of my passions. So yeah, let's serve this up on a plate and tell you guys how it goes. Alrighty guys, we're in our final stage. Yes. Where's the thing? Okay, right here. Got 2 slabs of paneer in there. That pepper in there. Get us some more gravy in there. Right? Put this over there. Shut it down. Take this over here. Garnish it with a little bit more cilantro. And then, where's the bread? Oh, where's the dish? Right here. And then, grab a spoon. Let's see how it goes. Break the paneer into a little piece and then take it in. Take a veggie piece, find a mushroom piece, it's there, guys. We have the taste. Is it as good as my wife makes it? No. Is it as good as I make it? I think so, yeah. Could have been better? Yeah, maybe. But I don't know what's wrong with it. I love it.